G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the north side of the map, playing as the English in the colour red, it's Louis MT. And on the south side of the map, as the Mongols in the colour pink, it's Chen Lao Tzu. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. We're here watching two of the world's best players go up against one another. Mongols versus English, bit of an interesting matchup, a matchup that we've seen a few times before, a matchup that changes depending on how good you are. This matchup starts as a Mongol favored matchup down in the Bronze Leagues and continues that way all the way up until Diamond. Even in Conqueror, it's still quite a Mongol favored matchup. But once you reach the upper echelons, once you get to Conqueror 3+, the tables start to turn. The English start to rear their ugly heads and become the stronger civilization out of these two. At the moment, the Mongols actually feel pretty damn strong. I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed they seem to have pretty good win percents across the board. Civilization seems overall pretty good. I've been playing a fair few Mongols in my quick match games, or rather my ranked match games. I don't know whether you guys are having the same thing, but let's talk a little bit about this game, about what we've got right here. It looks like Louis might be going... Oh, never mind. I got excited. I'm like, is Louis doing the 6-2 build? No, it is not. It's going to be the 7-3 build. Actually, it couldn't possibly have been the... well, it would have been the 9-2 build, I guess is probably the right way to say. But he switches it up. He goes 7-3. One of the builds going to be coming out over here. So I'm curious exactly how he's going to look to open here. Playing against the Mongols, a little bit of an interesting matchup, as I mentioned before. And it is going to be an opening with the stable. Now, part of the reason why this is so hard against the English is that the English have got their short bows. Their English villagers have got those little bows that do quite a bit of damage, 5 damage. You might not think that's much damage, but when you've got 10 vills all shooting you, it's 50 damage. It's a lot, especially because there's not a whole lot of armor that you've got mitigating you, especially in the Dark Age as an early horseman. If I remember correctly, I think they only get one armor in the Dark Age, and it goes up to 2 in the Feudal Age. But we'll have to wait and check because they're about to come out. But anyway, every single time a Mongol player brings in early horsemen against me, I just feel very grateful that they've made that decision, and I'm sure Louis will be feeling the same way. But over on the other side of the map, though, we'll right on board Louis as he begins the age up. 4 vills on the council hall. This is a quick age up. Sometimes you will see 2, sometimes even 3 villagers on the council hall. Sometimes it gets crazy, gets up to like 6 villagers sometimes, but just gonna go with 4, which is a nice middle ground, but you would expect it's probably gonna be feudal aggression coming from this. 3 vills on the gold also indicates he's probably gonna be looking for upgrades. Now, I suspect we're probably gonna be seeing economic upgrades into military upgrades, but I'm curious how much he lends into this and whether he opts for a second TC or even thinks about going into a fast castle. So there's 3 real options here for him, but we do now see that a villager is coming out. So very, very bold move to be sending a villager out against the English. Very, very bold. And let's take a look. So yeah, you can see one armor for these little guys. So villager coming out, and the outpost going to be going down. Now, the issue that you've got right now from the Mongol perspective is that you don't know what the layout of the English base is. You don't know where you're targeting. And sure, you're getting an outpost down. This is giving you a good like foothold, but you're not going to do anything with this. And granted, you're going to be heading towards this gold, so you're very fortunate because your next outpost can be leapfrogged towards that gold. And in fact, there's a double gold spawn here, so this is really nice if you can prevent the English player from gathering it. But of course, Louis, he's that kind of guy. He's got that 3rd gold nice and close. Very, very close. So let's see exactly how he looks to play it. Now, if you're curious about how I'd play it, well, I'd tell you to head over to my Patreon. If you want to improve, check that out. Replay reviews, private coaching. Look at that segue right there. Not very smooth, but at the end of the day, neither is the casting. But anyway, we move forward. Check out the Patreon if you're interested. I'll leave a link down in the... I think we're going with the pinned comment now. That's where we're going to be doing it. We've updated the description, so it's not going to be in the description anymore. It'll be in the pinned comments. Make sure you check it out there. But Longbow's going to be able to repel this. Not going to be able to get the extra little bit of bonus resources here from the sieging of the mining camp, and the outpost does get up, but from here, where do you go? Because the reality is, these longbows, all they need to do is put their palings out, and I mean, you can come back in here, but you're going to be in a whole world of pain in the event that we head underneath the town center. And Louis not really paying attention, taking a couple of extra shots here when he didn't need to be, and you can see the town center going to be loading up on those extra arrows, and Longbow's just doing the Lord's work right there as they're teeing off towards it. It's got to be careful not to head out too far, though. We're right on board with our Mongol player, and as the silver tree goes down, so far, honestly, the Mongol player is not playing this terribly. I do like the opening that he's gone for, but obviously there's not a whole lot of defense, or not a whole lot that you can really do against the early English pressure. As an English player up against this, I'd be feeling really good, and the paling's going to come out. Oh, it was so close. I don't know exactly how that works, because the paling looked like it had hit the ground and was ready, but then the horseman backed away, and the paling was still kind of generating right there. But Silver Tree coming up. 5 bills on the Silver Tree. He's in no rush to get up. Now, one of the most common things that you will see Mongol players do in this situation is just move the Silver Tree over towards the Uvu, double produce, say, 2, 4, 6 traders, and then look to go up to Castle Age. I'm expecting that's probably what we're going to see Chandler do here. There's no guarantee that that's going to be the case. It could look for a longer feudal, but if you want to play to the strengths of the Mongols, you want to be looking to get those lances out as soon as you possibly can. That's really where Mongol power spike comes in, once those lances come through and you can start dishing out damage towards all these villages. Of course, you're going to be looking for your early upgrades as well. +1 ranged armor going to be key for the Mongols. And just dealing with the town center fire from the town center of the English, just because of those extra arrows. And we do see an upgrade coming through. It's going to be the Vroom Vroom car. Superior mobility coming through now for Chandler. And going to be going... Probably, I'm expecting to move this down into the corner. Honestly, not the best decision. It's probably better to move it up to here. I like it if we... So probably you want to see a market down in this corner, which you can just move down. So just drop the market and move it down. Perfect. Wonderful. Chandler knows exactly what he's doing. And now Silver Tree comes over here. Just gets out 6 traders. You want to use up all of that stone, and then you're going to move the Silver Tree out over next to the trading post. Never mind, he's just going to go straight out there. Yeah, it makes sense, it makes sense. The question is going to be, how much trade can he actually get away with? And I'm curious. Oh, look at this. Louis actually... All right, Louis just pulls all the villagers, and he's like, we're just going to take out this outpost right now. Interesting call by Louis. Especially, this is a huge investment for him to do. Outpost still yet to get those arrow slits, about to come through now. And realizes once those arrow slits are through... I mean, he didn't actually see the arrow slits come through before he decided to back it out. I think he's just... making sure he pulls back a couple of units here. Is that horseman coming from Louis right now? Now, what information does Louis have on the map? He doesn't know about the enemy's trade, doesn't really know about where the enemy position is with regard to what they're planning. Yet opts for double stable English? Excuse me, Louis MT. Don't mind me getting a screenshot of this one. Louis MT with a double stable English feudal age. When was the last time you saw the English make cavalry in the feudal age? I tell you what, I think it must have been 2003, 2004 maybe? It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. The game's only been out for, well, it's been out for a little bit more than a year now, about 18 months now. So obviously it wasn't released in 2003. Calm down. It's a joke. I know jokes are meant to be funny, but I'm a dad now. I'm legally allowed to make jokes that aren't funny. They're called dad jokes. All right. Well, riding on board with Louis. He's lost the scout. With the loss of the scout means the loss of information from his enemy. And look at this, Louis, just so aware of what the enemy needs to do in this situation. Because for me, I'm playing this matchup, I'm going 3 TC, but I guess the reality is when you've got good spawns like this on the trading post, trade is such a big threat. We can see right now 159 gold going to be coming in from that first trader. So that's going to be the very first trader for Chandler. And we are, we're on the board now. We're on the board. The very first trader. And look at that. The first trader gets picked up. Louis is just that good. Louis is just that good. For anybody who doesn't know, Louis, top 5 player in the world. That's how good he is. He is... yeah, he's very, very good at the moment, and he's increased or improved a lot, right? Like, we didn't see him at Red Bull Walla Lol. I don't even really think, I'm not sure if he participated in the early stages of that, but yeah, he's definitely come a long way. Let's just say that much. Villagers don't actually go down. He manages to keep this one alive. So still just tracking along just fine, and it's exactly what we suspected. So he's gone 1 TC. Look at this. 1 TC, full eco upgrades, just focusing on the feudal. I love this. I love this style of English. And I think this is part of the reason why I'm so attracted. I'm so attracted to the English. This is the reason why I love the English. They're so versatile, right? Like, you can just do so many things with them. Can you imagine any other civ doing this many things or having this many options to play with? I don't think so. I don't think so. Blacksmith, gonna be under fire here. Of course, the horseman gonna be looking to try and siege down the outpost, but obviously it does have the arrow slits through, so maybe not the wisest decision to be doing it. Just with 3 horsemen. Might need to wait for a little bit more, but now we've got our Mongol player moving back, looking to cover the trading post. And I think this is really what's so innovative from Louis, because Louis, you think of the English and you think of a civilization that isn't a mobile civilization. They're a civilization that plays infantry and infantry only. And often, it can mean that in certain matchups, you can get taken advantage of. You know, as an example, this matchup right here. If you play an infantry opening, you're probably going to get rolled over. You're probably going to get destroyed. Yet, Louis puts 2 and 2 together and says, well, if I'm 90% sure you're trading, I'm just going to go cav here, and I'm just going to push and just going to start slowly killing your traders. And he's doing a good job of keeping the trade down. I mean, at this point in the game, still only 1 trader. Louis has been very active, and I love the way that I find this amazing, the fact that he's only had a handful of cavalry units, but he's taking the opportunity to just clear out the outposts that are on this front side of his base. The enemy units are over on the other side of the map, but Louis is just out of the blocks here, going crazy ham with the amount of units that he's got here, and it's full cavalry. He's still double producing, and I think what's great here is the synergy. I want to call this out right now. The synergy of this strategy works together with the mill. So not only is your farms cheaper, but the mill provides that extra bonus, that extra 20% food, and now that infinite food is coming through, and of course you're making food-heavy units, so the more food you've got, the better it is for you. And look at this, Louis just throwing away units, doesn't even care right now, he's just rallying them towards this position. You see a 3rd stable coming down from Louis. Oh my lord, Louis, you're playing a whole new style of English, and I am on board with it. Have we... I'm not even sure if we've seen... I know that we've seen cavalry openings before. We saw it with the King when the King initially came out. I remember Corp doing it against the Viper on Mountain Pass. But you don't really see a lot of active English play like this because, honestly, I feel like trade might be a bit of a weak point for the English. Just simply because English players are so tempted to throw down another TC or just go for an infantry composition. God knows I do it. And trade's got enough time to pay itself off. By that time, as long as the Mongol player is ready to put the foot down. Now, there's an interesting point right here, which is where Louis not looking to put pressure on the enemy side of the map. And the Mongol player's got a little bit of a window. If we take a look, he's up to 5 traders, and we're going to start seeing some food added in now for the Mongol player. Spearman going to be coming out as well. So going into a 1-1-1 composition, GUA would be proud as the new Khan rises, and a couple of sheep here, unfortunately, going to be losing their life as well, but it's not going to really matter that much. Only the Mongol player is going to be sad about losing them. Not really about giving them away, though. Another villager going to come out and, where do you think you're going, says Louis. Louis just says, no, 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 no. He waves the finger around. He says, that's not happening, my friend. So now we enter this interesting stage where Louis picked up all of his upgrades. He's got his farms down. He's got his production down, and he has got his pedal to the metal. Quite literally, pedal to the metal right now. All 3 of his stables are mass-producing horsemen. We've got the council hall producing. Everything is going, for lack of a better terms, batshit crazy in the base of Louis right now. This is unprecedented. I don't think I've ever seen such aggression coming out from English for a cavalry style like this. That one's going on the thumbnail right there. Look at that. You just got to get it in. He's adding in more farms right now as well. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, Louis. Bring that UI back in, Drongo. Let's take a look and see where these guys are up to. All right, well, looks like a bit of a counterattack coming in. Pink going to be moving over towards the west side of the map at the same time. Louis, look at him go. Look at him go. He spots out the hunt here. He says, I know what you're up to. Bill's going to be running for dear life. Keep in mind, no YAM network here is going to be hurting these villagers. They don't get that extra bonus movement speed. They do obviously get the extra movement speed from Wheelbarrow, which is in, but that is it. And now look at this. Outpost's going to be going down. So much damage coming out from these horsemen. I tell you what, he is reinventing English before my eyes. I never thought something like this would be possible with the English, but the fact is just, it seems so safe as well. The way that he's gone into the eco, I can't stop talking about it. I can't. I'm a Louis fanboy. Oh my lord! I never thought I'd see the day. I never thought I'd see the day. I'm a fanboy. I'm actually a fanboy right now. Louis, what's up, man? This is getting exciting. All right, so how's the trade going? That's the big question. Up to 9 traders, which for anybody who's unfamiliar, 9 traders is like ding, 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 ding. Congratulations, you've maxed out your trade route here. So that's important to note. Outpost coverage, not looking the best. He's got a couple of outposts up along it, working to try and get it up. You can see that there's the lack of mobility coming out from the Mongol forces just from not having that YAM network. Means it's a slow and steady move over towards the opposite side of the map, and Louis doing a great job of just baiting the enemies. Look at him splitting right now, just playing out of his mind. You know, we've covered a couple of trade games recently. Obviously, you guys will remember the one from GUA, where he literally deleted his army in protest at how bad his opponent was beating him with trade. But after watching Louis play against this Mongol player, I can't help but feel like there is a way. There is a way. The way definitely involves a large amount of horsemen, that is for sure. But there is a way. And I'm genuinely impressed. Louis with a nice little camp down here on the bottom side. Counterattacks coming through. More horsemen now looking to hit on that hunt. He's just everywhere, isn't he? Look at this. Longbow's going to be falling back. He just wants to avoid them getting hit by a counterattack. Horseman numbers for his enemy, not the best. Still stacking up a fair bit of resources. Louis actually working towards castle age here. But I say that. He's got 7 horsemen in queue. 27 horsemen out right now. You know, there's a part of me that's tempted to say, hey, Louis, maybe the Abbey of Kings could actually be decent here. You do lose out on the council hall, though, and then you have to add in the archery range, and that's expensive, and it just becomes... It's one of those things where it's like, it's just not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. Just stick with what you know. Just stick with the council hall. You're going to need to add longbows in anyway later, so might as well just go with it. Walls coming up for Louis. Under attack by a wolf, but he's maintained really solid control here. Trade still going strong, though, for our Mongol player. At the moment, sitting on a total of 8 traders. 16 workers have been killed by Louis, but still that worker count relatively even. Only 4 the difference between these two. And keep in mind, there's no walls going to be coming up throughout this game. Our Mongol player, with an inability to create walls, suffers in this situation. Compared to the Abbasid players, compared to the Malian traders out there, the Malian trade enjoyers. I know there's a few of them out there. This is just a whole new world. But I guess the important thing to remember is that this amount of horsemen could siege down a wall so quickly. It wouldn't even be close. Honestly, at this point, he's getting close to threatening the landmark. That's how much damage there could be. And King's Palace comes through for Louis right now. Curious to see what direction he goes from here. But expect to see veterancy upgrades coming through. King's Palace going to be dropped down a little bit forward to the front. Oh, look at this. We'll be heading into mass men-at-arms, potentially. Is that the way he's going to look to finish this game? Roll over the top of the enemy? So for Louis, the big key is moving more vills onto gold. And look at this. With pixel-perfect timing. Pixel-perfect timing from Louis. Vills come out over onto gold. He needs to get these upgrades in as soon as he ages up. And that's what these vills are here for. These guys are going to make sure Louis got the gold as soon as he ages up to get them through. And look at these horsemen now moving across the map. Going to force his enemy back once again. Say, hey, get over here. No, don't go attacking my... Oh, Lord, there could be trouble in paradise right now. Louis, just when he thought everything was okay, his enemy spotted out the King's Palace. Oh, Lord, you're in a world of hurt now, Louis. Just when you thought the trade route, oh, it gets a cancel. The bounty goes through as well. He's still got enough resources to throw down the King's Palace somewhere safer. Great call from Louis. Realizes, you know what? It's just not worth it. It goes for somewhere even a little bit safer, but I tell you what, you're playing with fire, Mr. MT. King's Palace going to get thrown down with 22 villagers this time. He's got enough resources for the veterancy upgrade. That's all he wants. The veterancy upgrade is more than enough. He's dealing with spears here. In fact, there's 18 spears, so maybe the veterancy upgrade isn't what you want. Maybe you want veterancy on the longbows? Even then, veterancy on the longbows, you're not going to have the same impact. It's much better to go for the horsemen here. And Louis just pushing into the enemy base. Villager count really starting to drop here. Kurultai going to get thrown down for our Mongol player. So whether they're able to move the Kurultai into position, we see the age up comes through. Expect to see veterancy for Louis any second. There it is, veterancy on those horsemen. He needs 58 seconds is what he needs. Kurultai needs to get into position here. You can tell that our Mongol player wants to try and find this flank, this position. And I tell you what, if this fight doesn't go the way of the Mongol player, it's going to be really hard because he's losing traders non-stop throughout this. Not even putting them into the towers. He's trying to run away. Get into the tower, my friend. You know what? It wouldn't even matter. Look how quick this tower goes. Oh my God, it almost got one shot. How many horsemen is that? 32 horsemen. That is a late games amount of horsemen. All right, veterancy coming through on the other side. Veteran spears, veteran horsemen on the other side. How much more ahead is Louis? So Louis is going to be at 20 seconds in 1 second compared to his opponent who's at 40 seconds. So he's 20 seconds behind. More vills going down. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible right now. The Mongol player just losing villages absolutely everywhere. He's trying to chase Louis around the map, but Louis, as the English player, is more mobile than the Mongol. The Mongol player is out-Mongoled by the English player. Never I thought I would see the day that I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating right now. Look at the villager count. Louis has gone on an absolute killing spree right now. A massacre. Kurultai is coming down. Where is it? There it is. Moved around. But even at this point, even if you kill the army, Louis has just done so much damage. He shoots and he scoots. He's out. He nuts and he bolts. is that what it... Oh, sorry. I shouldn't. Look at this. He hit and run. He just hit and run. He just took him all out. Okay, he spots him. We head into the cinematic mode. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to do the dirty. A few longbows here going to be able to try and take out these spearmen. You can see him just picking them off one by one. He needs to come back. He needs to run this screen. Louis MT playing with an absolutely crazy English style. Gonna just give up the longbows. Curious decision, but hold on a minute. We've got some more villagers over here. Oh, things are going terribly right now for our pink player, who's just losing so many vills everywhere. Springald emplacements through, but hey, these horsemen are something else in this matchup, aren't they? He gets the surround. He could have gone for it. Look at this, chasing away more units. Spears getting added in. Not going to go men-at-arms, and it's just a tap out. It is just a complete tap out. He doesn't need to fight. Pink's had enough. He says, you know what? You've run me around. It's Tuesday afternoon. I don't have time for this. I've got work in 2 hours. Good game, well played. Fellas, I hope you guys have enjoyed this casted game, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.